This program is proudly brought to you by Stanek, sponsors of the Stanek Group N series.
And here we are at the Zwartkops Raceway in Pretoria for the first round of the Stanek Group N National South African Saloon Car Championship. It should have been the second round, but unfortunately the first round in East London was cancelled due to surface problems on the track. This series has attracted three of the major motor manufacturers to the racing, and of course the big battle is in Class A between the BMWs and the Opels. It's going to be a tough series. We've got 19 of them entered. They're down the grid. Let's get on with the action. And rolling on to pole position, Michael Briggs in the Opel, just 0.04 of a second faster than Tony Viana in the Winfield BMW. Nice mix of motorcars, 10 of the fastest road-going Opel cadets in the world, and a fairly unique 2.7-litre BMW, the 325S. And the BMW known to get its power on the ground very quickly off the line. It's a quick starter, as Tony Viana proves as they go away on the first of 15 laps. It's 400 metres to Continental Corner. It's Michael Briggs in the inside, but Viana's got the advantage. And that's a traffic jam. You can't afford to make a mistake in this one as they bump and barge their way through. Jeff Goddard tips the back of Farouk Danga, sends him spinning to the outside of the circuit. John Craig from Cape Town makes his way across the felt, but the whole field gets safely through Continental and the race is on in a big way. A super competitive field. In the front, Tony Viana in Winfield BMW. Behind him, Michael Briggs looking for a place to come through as they hit 200 kilometers an hour down a gear. As they go down through Citizen Sweep and start making their way up through the Champion Hill, it's these cars at full stretch. It's a BMW and an Opel, BM and Opel and another BMW and an Opel. The field is very evenly matched. Here's Michael Briggs right on Tony Viana's tail as they come down through Sabat. He's looking for a place to pass. He gets right under the wing of the BMW. He finds his chances here down the Michelin Straight, and he's got the inside line and a car length as he makes his way to Continental, to the great cheers of this big gallery on this corner. This is what it looks like from Robbie Smith's car in third position. Briggs in the front. Tony Viana clipping those corners, taking the tightest line he can, hanging on to the Opel just in front of him. It's just two car lengths, up to fourth, to fifth, and 200 kilometers an hour. Here they come out of Bosel Corner, making their way down to Sabat Sweep. It's Michael Briggs under a second ahead of Tony Viana. The JC and BMW has got Roddy Turner from Cape Town overdoing it there as he comes through, and Dion Jabir is looking for a way through. As he comes through and gets past Roddy Turner, Dion Jabir makes his way into fourth position, and the fight is on between these two Cape Town drivers. Jabir, a new Springbok in saloon car racing, also a karting and a Formula 4 champion. Roddy Turner's got to make other plans. Robbie Smith now has got Dion Jabir worrying him all the way down as they touch the brakes, go down a gear, down through Citizen Sweep. It's Robbie Smith again and Dion Jabir on the climb up Champion Hill to Bosel. He makes it on the inside. On the brakes, just a touch of those brakes as he tightens the line through. It's a very tricky section, and Roddy Turner's through it as well. So the two Cape Town drivers in just 100 meters have got past Robbie Smith. And Tony Viana is looking for first position. He shoulders Michael Briggs out of the way. This is the last lap, and it's mirror to mirror as they come down to save that sweep, and Michael Briggs got the tighter line. That's the better one on the way to the flag, and it's just 0.2 of a second as they cross the line. And you can't get him much closer than that. Dion Jabir third, and right behind him, Roddy Turner, Robbie Smith, and Leon Marie. And that had the adrenaline pumping in the crowd. It was the Opel day, and they were very thrilled with that result, but not without great pressure from the BMW. And with 60 cars entered for the Stanek Group N Racing, it's very popular sports car club, split the races in three. Here's the classes for the 2-litre down to 1600 B, C, and D, with the Uno Turbos having not much opposition, 1 and 2 ahead in Class C, but behind in Class B, it's Martinez Breers in the Golf, putting the pressure there on Neil Stevens from Port Elizabeth in the Opel. Cracked exhaust or not, that Golf was really attacking from all sides. Neil Stevens, the better line as he comes down through Sabat and goes into the Michelin Straight. Grant McCleary in the 1600cc Opel having not much problem in this class, winning by 4 seconds from his teammate from Cape Town, Brian Gilmore in the 160. But more action up at Bosel. Chris Clark in the Moby Jack Toyota having a moment as the two Uno Turbos gave a demonstration in the front of Class 10. Came home to a popular win with their many fans in this form of racing. And with no known team instructions, the 18 starters lined up for the second heat. Hannes Grobler intent in beating this man, Nick de Waal, the winner of the first race. Grand Prix style starting light, and away they went. Nice big field of 18 motor cars. They headed down the Michelin Straight on their way down to Conti. Nick de Waal on the left-hand side of the screen. Hannes Krobler has the jumper in this time as they go for the brake markers. He runs out of road, goes across the field. He goes onto his two wheels, touches his teammate Nick de Waal as the other members of the race come streaming through. And that's Hannes Krobler right at the back of the field. This allows Neil Stevens to go to the front. They've been challenged down the Ultimate Straight into Citizen. It's Neil Stevens, holds his line in the Opel. He's from Port Elizabeth. Nick de Waal from Cape Town. On their tails, Martinez Breers, then it's Grant McCleary and Brian Gilmore. Still Neil Stevens, Nick de Waal looking for a way to come through. It's a wide Opel that he's going to try and pass, and he looks in his mirrors and he sees Breers right on his tail. No advantage here through the corners at all, as it tends to lift its wheels through these tighter corners. And the turbo known to get its speed as the turbo comes in further down the straight. And there you see it happening. As he starts to stream away from the Opel, Nick de Waal has gone to the front of this large field. But Stevens hanging in there through the corners. Almost on two wheels comes Nick de Waal through up the Champion Hill into Bosel, and attacking is Martinez Breers, a tighter line. He rubs mirrors there with Neil Stevens, but Stevens holds on to his position. Still being followed there by Breers. The exhaust pipe back in position now. Tight line through Continental Corner, and Breers has got him. He got into the inside, he left an opening there, and Breers came through. Stevens goes onto the dirt, no touching that time, and Breers has got to the front of Class B. And having it all his own way at the front of the field. Nick de Waal going for his second win of the day. But Martinez Breers not giving up, still attacking. Neil Stevens staying there, third overall. So let's have a look at the results of these three classes. Nick de Waal, a double for the day in the Uno Turbo and a new lap record. Neil Stevens doing enough to finish 1.7 seconds ahead of the former motocrosser Martinez Breers, and Grant McCleary winning Class D in the 1600 Open. And in Class E for the 1400s, a big field of cars was racing it out. Mike O'Sullivan getting away in the Safex Opel, but behind him, sheer speed being replaced by close cutthroat racing. Mark Edwards going out into the outfield. Rodney Tim in the black car, closing the gap there on Sean Watson-Smith and being sent into the outfield and the retaining wall. And Steve Wyndham, the driver of the meeting, coming through from the pits to come through in second position and start alongside Mike O'Sullivan in that Delta Force Opel in the second 15-lapper. As 15 very eager and closely matched cars get away in Heat 2, the action starts once again in Continental Corner. Carl Moller bangs into the back of Rodney Tim's black motor car, spins Mark Edwards around, and they go into the back of Sean Watson-Smith. But out of the pandemonium, miracles, they all get away and live yet another day. A few laps later, Moller does it again. Tips Rodney Tim, pushes him, spins him around. Moller gets away, and Rodney Tim certainly bent but not unbowed. That is his third praying of the day. But maybe these drivers should resort more to racing and less to dodgem car racing. But up at the front, the racing was hot. It was Steve Wyndham in the privateer Toyota Conquest up against the Delta Force Opel of Mike O'Sullivan. Wyndham with the inside line, gets him on Bosel Corner and starts to pull away. Sullivan desperately get past him, but this is the way the order was going to stay to the end, with Wyndham and Sullivan, Steve Watson-Smith from Port Elizabeth, as they came to the line up the Michelin Straight. Then came Carl Moller and Mark Edwards. So let's have a look at the overall results for the day. Mike O'Sullivan, the winner in the Safex Delta Force Opel. Steve Wyndham, a lap record in his Conquest, and then Steve Watson-Smith in the Opel. And not one person in the huge crowd would move away until they saw the second heat of this race for the Class A cars. Late arrival on the grid, Michael Brigg takes up pole position. Grand Prix starting lights. Once again, the BMW moves away first as it gets its power to the road as they go down the Michelin Straight into Continental Corner. This time, action replay of the last race. Tony Viana into the lead there. A little further back there, Neil Brink, the engineer from Pretoria, gets moved out of the way. So does John Craig. That's his second off of the day as the others bump and barge their way through that corner. But it's Tony Viana, being worried by Michael Briggs. This is the way it was before. He knows all the tricks now, does Viana. He keeps a very wide Winfield BMW as he comes up the Champion Hill. Dion Joubert's next, Roddy Turner, Robbie Smith, Leon Marais, and then all the others down into the Sabre sweep. It's Michael Briggs looking left, looking right as they slide out of there and come towards the start finish. Briggs thinks he's got it on the right hand side, looking back from Viana's car. He tries on the left, heavy on the brakes. A few stones there going up from Viana's back wheels as they go tight around Continental Corner and start accelerating away. This lovely throaty sound of the 6-cylinder BMW. Up through third, fourth, fifth, up up to 200 kilometers an hour, getting away from Briggs. He gains about 5 meters there as he leaves Continental Corner. But on the way down to Citizen Sweep, it's Briggs closing back on Viana's tail. Those tyres are at full stretch as they come down through there and start up the Champion Hill. Not far behind is Dion Jabert, being worried by his fellow Cape Townian Roddy Turner. It's Robbie Smith, Leon Marais, very competitive in there as well. This is what it looks like from Robbie Smith, JSN BMW, out of Basel. Ahead of him, Roddy Turner and Dion Jabert. Just ahead of them, Michael Briggs looking to pass Tony Viana. Down through the tight sabre sweep, they climb the hill up the Michelin straight to the start-finish line. And Neil Briggs still getting lots of attention from the Winfield BMW of Hannes Oosthuizen. But Michael Briggs still not able to find a way past Tony Viana as he goes into Continental Corner. On the left side of this arena, the BMW management in the Conti stand. On the other side of the arena, the Opel management cheering on their team as well. The order is Viana and Briggs. It's Dion Jabert and Roddy Turner as they get into the final stage of this race. And still Hannes Oosthuizen giving the Moby Jack Opel lots of attention as they exit the tight Continental Corner. But in the front, Briggs is trying to the left, he's trying to the right. Viana's keeping his BMW very wide as they exit Basel Corner. Down the hill to the Saybat Sweep. This is where Briggs did it the last time as we get into the final stages of this race. He takes that tighter line, clips under that tree, gets his windscreen peppered there with stones as Gino Remondini, this young engineer from BMW, loses his motor car into the tyre wall and he puts it over onto his door. Well, that's a great pity. As coming to the line, Tony Viana in the BMW takes it by 1 of a second ahead of Michael Briggs with Dion Jabert in third position. As a shaken but unhurt Gino Remondini emerges from his motor car, let's have a look at the overall results. And when they added the times of the two races together, Michael Briggs, after 30 laps of racing, won it in the Opel by just 2 of a second. You can't get it much closer than that. Tony Viana in the Winfield BMW, a new lap record ahead of the new Springbok Dion Jabert.